Hello everyone and welcome to our little TCG interview show, and today I've got a very special guest. He is all the way from the rice fields. He is the man himself, Matthew Rice. Matt, how are you doing today?
Good, my friend. How are you today?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. So this is the first time you and I have gotten to talk face to face. Do you prefer Matthew or Matt, or do you not care?
Whatever you prefer. I think I go by Rice more than either of them now.
Fair enough. Yeah, I assume that's how everyone refers to you.
All my coworkers do Matt. My mom does Matthew. My brother does Matt. All my card playing friends do Rice. So there's something for everybody.
Yeah, you've got a whole gamut of options to choose from. So everyone kind of knows who you are in the community, and I'll just be right up. So why is that? Like, how long have you been around the community? Because I knew who you were when I first got into it, and I wasn't even sure why I knew who you were. Just that, oh yeah, that's Matt Rice. Everybody knows Matt Rice. So
I don't even know why people know me, I've just been around since day zero. I was in charge of the team that started the group we all grew to love and use every day. Love is in quotations, I guess. I was a part of Six Sages Gaming YouTube during the beginning, so a lot of people know me from that. A lot of people know me from that all over the world. We had fans in Japan and Singapore, nice. The UK, stuff like that. I've just been around a long time, and I guess I travel a lot, almost every Crystal Cup, and I don't know. I post a lot because I love sharing things about the game and talking about the game, and I guess I just talk a lot, Travis. I've been around a lot and I talk a lot, so.
Well, that can lead to people getting to know who you are. So I know I've seen you. I remember you commentated for Worlds. Did you usually play in all those Crystal Cups you went to, or would you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a player primarily. I know, surprising, right? How did I get? How did it start? I think I commentated some event I can't think of, and then when James Lockwood asked me if I wanted to maybe do it for one of his reunion events, I jumped at it because I love doing that stuff, because I did it for some fighting game stuff around here before, so I have history doing it, and I love doing it whether I'm incredible at it or not. I just love doing it.
Yeah.
That started it. So
nice, very nice. Okay, so as a player, what's your favorite element or category or both?
It's fire, hands down. I think ice is second, because it was my next favorite when fire was really bad.
Yeah.
Favorite category just has to be 7, whether 7. It's incredible or not. It's just always going to be 7. I know it's hard for you to hear that. I know.
No, not at all. Well, and I guess that because I think you and I played in an RVA weekly once, and you were running a 7 deck, and I was a big 7 fan. So
probably, yeah.
No, I love 7. Go ahead.
It's 7 all the way through. I just love the game. It's been a big part of my life. I think that was a big part of my life and playing that game. So I have incredible memories playing it with my brother and all types of stuff, and my circle of friends all played that game. So engulfed all of us as children.
Yeah.
Even if the story is not that great and Cloud's not that great, but I think they're great. So
I think they're very great. 7 is on my list of 28 Final Fantasy games I've played, and that includes a bunch of spin-offs and mobiles. 7's I think rank 3 for me. It's in my top 3.
Yeah, no.
So I gotta ask, what did you think of the remake? Do you like? I know it's. I wasn't a big fan of it. I'll say that up front. How did you feel about it?
God, this is a loaded question, but loved the gameplay, loved the style, I loved the personality they gave all the characters. I loved this, I don't know, how they changed the characters here and there. I loved the game and what they were doing up until you got to the Shinra building and things got really weird. I do not like the ending. I do not like the timeline stuff. I think it's extra and we don't need it, but I could go on forever with this. But whether I like it or not, I'm still gonna play the heck out of every game. So that they got me, I fell for it.
Right? Yeah, they got you hook, line, and sinker. No, I know what you mean. Funny you mentioned the Shinra building, because I think there's a moment in there that kind of exemplifies what I don't like about it, and that. Again, we can do our own episode about the 7 remake, but just to kind of sum it up, is that it felt very bloated to me. And I remember the scene. There's a scene where you go into the bathroom and you crawl into the vents to overhear the Shinra meeting. And in the first game, it's literally one screen. It's you tick, 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 tick to the front of the vent, and then you listen. And in this game, it's like a 2-minute, 3-minute sequence of you slowly crawling through the vents. And I was just like, who thought that needed to be extended? Like, who said, no. That 2-second crawl, that was way too slow.
Yeah.
This thing's got to go on for minutes. Like,
yeah. There's a lot of parts like that. Some I enjoy, some I don't. Crawling through the vents is not one of them. Felt really unnecessary.
I agree. I will agree with you. Like, I mostly like the way they visualize the characters. I agree. I don't really like all the weird timeline stuff and whatever the ending was. But yes, I think it does have some good parts to it. But overall, I was like, man, like, I really wish they had just done 7 upgraded. But anyway, so that's 7 remake. We'll have to make a podcast on that one.
Yeah. Well, I could go forever. Have you finished the Yuffie DLC yet?
No. So I think you have to have a PS5 to get it, and I don't have one. So
Okay. Well, that'll be another episode on the podcast.
Exactly right.
That we have episode 2 already.
Exactly. Yeah, it's already built up for us.
Yeah, well, I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but I'm very mixed about the ending to that one as well. So
yeah. Well, and see, here's the thing too with like 7 relating it to the card game is sometimes if people read my posts, they might think I don't like 7 because I often complain about the fact that we get so many 7 cards. I love 7. It's one of my favorite Final Fantasies, but it is frustrating to get these 7 cards. It's like, we can only still play one version of Cloud, right? Like, so you can give us 18 versions. We can still only put one on the field at a time.
Yeah. He's got a lot of different hats.
As a card player, does that frustrate you at all, or does the 7 fan in you come out and be like, who cares? I just want more 7 stuff? Because there's a guy in my group who they could print 7 every single set, and he'd be like, yes, more 7. Like, he's that into it.
I love it. I understand people don't like it. I think it's an important intricacy to balancing the game. But I also think it gets a little weird sometimes. Like the new Prish that they just spoiled last night.
Yeah.
Why is that card named Prish?
Yeah.
Like, that's the stuff I don't get. There's no reason for that card to be named Prish.
And she already had a Earth Wind multi-element card too.
Yeah. That's the 3rd episode of our podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a mixed bag for me. I understand why they do it, and I don't understand why they do it. I guess I'll leave it at that.
Fair. All right, that's very fair. All right, so let's talk about the League of Light, which was this awesome online tournament you created. For those who don't know, just give a quick little rundown. Is basically it was an online tournament, and what was nice is that the Cure series is strictly webcam games. Other series might use Octagon. This one was kind of just a mix of whatever you were able to do, whether it be, I think it was mostly Octagon and webcam. I don't know if anyone ended up using Untap or not. Maybe there's a few players.
So the nice thing about the first season is I had enough Untapped players so they could have their own pod. Nice. And it wouldn't be a problem for other players. So yeah, I had mainly Octagon. I had about a dozen Untapped players. I think I had 2 games reported to me with webcam. I think, did you play a locals? Or I think maybe your locals played a locals game and sent it to me?
Yeah, I believe they did.
And then I had one more, the Seattle boys played locals and sent me the results. So I just wanted to appeal to everyone. That's my thing.
Yeah, well,
I wanted to give everybody more games. That's what I wanted to do.
Well, and I think that's why it was successful. At least from my point of view, I served as a judge for it. I judged on several matches. I got to cast plenty of matches. Got to come up with my own little weekly show with my local guys called The Gang Plays Casual. You can check it out on the channel. And we all had a really good time. It seemed like everybody enjoyed it. We had a lot of new players in that, they were just testing out for the first time. You had a very competitive league. At the time of recording this, the grand finals will be wrapping up sometime in the near future for Division 1. So overall, it seemed like it was a pretty good success. Did you feel that way as well? Were you happy with the way it went?
Yeah, I very happy. We didn't have any issues. We had one timing issue. We had only a couple judge warnings. The support from all my friends and players and all that has been great. The prizing I was given is incredible. And it's been incredible. It's going to keep being incredible as long as people want to keep playing in it. So
yeah,
sign up for season 2 now.
Absolutely.
Where's my camera? There it is.
Yeah. Will that start a certain date, or is it kind of we got to wait till the finals finish and then? We'll see?
Well, as soon as Zaim and Luke stop playing. No, honestly, I might wait till the next set is released online.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just to start fresh, but I'll see what the players want to do.
Okay.
It makes sense. I can start as soon as Zaim and Luca are done with the grand finals. So
that's fair. So currently, at least in season 1, we had 2 divisions. Originally, it was talked about for 3 divisions. There's going to be like a super casual or like very new player division. Then there was going to be like a moderate division for people who knew the game but didn't quite want to play with the super competitive people. And then, of course, the ultimate competitive division. And ultimately, I know you went with 2. We basically cut out the bottom one. And so we kind of had the like casual division and then the competitive one. Will that continue for season 2?
I would say we actually cut out the middle one.
Oh, okay.
I kept the bottom entry level casual one because this game has gotten a lot of new players during the pandemic, and I wanted to give them something to do and teach them how to play the game, stuff like that. And then, to be honest with you, there were barely any entrants for the middle. So I figured let's cut it, and then I'll just add to the prizing for 1 and 2, and everybody will be happy.
Awesome. Is that going to be the same for next season too?
Yep, it'll be the exact same. Okay. We're doing away with the pods. As nice of a social tool it was, I guess I would say, it didn't get as much use as I thought it would. And people were wondering about the breakers and stuff almost every day, so I figured we'll just go to Swiss rounds. Makes breakers easy to understand for everyone.
Yeah.
It's less games. Some people did tell me that 2 best of 3s was a lot sometimes. So I just wanted to simplify it, and again, I just wanted to do whatever the players wanted to do. So
yeah, that's fair. I know the breakers. I wasn't even familiar with it. You use like that buckles system.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, well, I didn't use that until we got to the top cut.
Top cut, okay.
And the reason we had to use those breakers is because by doing best of 3, damage goes above 7 often, almost every game, basically. And a lot of softwares can't do that when you tell them you're playing Final Fantasy, so we had to use chest breakers.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fair. So we kind of heard some things you liked about it. What are things you would like to see improved upon for season 2 and beyond, or things maybe you're like, I kind of wish I'd done that differently? Anything
improved upon? I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I guess maybe I could improve on my communication to the players, even though I thought I did a good job. Maybe it was evident I didn't do that good of enough a job. So I would like to amplify the communication, and I guess do whatever I can do to make things easier for everyone, and add more to the prize pool, I guess.
Sure. I mean, yeah,
nothing crazy.
That never hurts. No, I mean, it ran very smoothly. Like, I don't recall anyone ever complaining about, like, oh, I'm confused about what time I'm supposed to play, or...
Yeah.
Well, and so let me ask you that then, because the grand finals are wrapping up, but Division 2 wrapped up quite a while ago, and I did an interview with Rainey, who is the winner of Division 2 for that, whereas, again, at the time of this recording, the Division 1 grand finals are still taking forever to wrap up. So for those who don't know, grand final, or Division 2 top cut was basically like a few rounds of Swiss. I think it was 4 rounds of Swiss, whereas
Correct.
Division 1, you had this double elimination bracket. Are you going to continue that same format for season 1? Are you going to make both the elimination? What are you going to do?
I'm plan on doing the exact same thing again. I love 2-deck format. So that maybe that's the one part I didn't care what the players said, because I love 2-deck format so much. But I just wanted to duplicate like how Nats feels, I guess. You know, our Nats is a 2-deck format with a bracket. Euros is, I believe Euros was like that a year ago. And I just love the format. So more games, the happier. You know, it's competitive division for a reason, I guess.
I too am a big fan of 2-deck format. It's nice to see if someone's got like a one-trick pony deck. It's nice, like, no man, you got to win with 2. You know, you can't just win with that one. Would you consider doing that for Division 2 as well, for the casual division, or do you want to keep that? With
if they wanted me to, I would.
Okay.
But nobody has asked me to do that, so it will stay 4 rounds Swiss and casual division.
Okay, so casual players, if you want it differently, let us know below, or let Rice know, because otherwise we're going with that Swiss format. So Oh no, that's awesome. So, what kind of remind me? What was the pricing for this exactly? I'm assuming you got some gifts from James Lockwood and.
Who didn't I get gifts from? Geesh.
That's like it'd be easier to tell you who didn't send me one.
Yeah. I have a list of who didn't support me. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are on. You guys are all on notice.
We need the Law and Order sound effect. Dun dun.
Yeah. Oh man.
These are their names.
I got a large sum of money from Rain Dog. Whether she wants me to tell people that anymore or whatever. Thank you, Rainy. You're a blessing and a great friend. I got reunion kits from people all over America. Alex Hancock came out and gave me some store credit to not spend, but to give out to European players and people not in America. So that was great. Shout outs to Alex, one of my good friends. Lockwood, Greg at the Light, Four Horsemen Games, I believe. Emmanuel Padilla from Chicago sent me some reunion kits. And I just kind of have a box full of promos that I save for stuff like this.
Nice.
You know, I use it at my locals and then I save it for stuff like this too. Like a thing I like to do is like when we would travel to LQs or like Chicago events, Ohio events, I would like put bounties on my friends just as like a side game for everybody. And if I was like, if you beat anyone on Team Venby, come see me and I have a promo pack for you. And I don't know, I just love doing that stuff. So
that's awesome.
Promos, dice, reunion kits, store credit to Cards of Ivalice or the Brotherhood. Jellyfish guy. Sorry, Alex, I forgot about all his custom deck boxes. Because those weren't ever in my hands. So out of sight, out of mind. Shout outs to him for putting those together. That's incredible. He's a very important asset to this community, both online and over there.
And he's not even a real human. He's just a jellyfish.
I know, right? God, I wish I could skip all the Facebook stuff and just be Alex.
Right.
But shout outs to everyone that made League of Light what it is. And yeah, if you want to send me stuff, DM me. League of Light has a PayPal. Nice. I'm accepting anything and everything. So it's for the community, by the community. So
your generous gifts are welcome, and I think that's why it was such a success. That's kind of all the questions I had about League of Light. Was there anything else you wanted to mention about it? Something we maybe didn't bring up?
No. We pretty much hit everything on the head. Signups are open for season 2. You can search League of Light on Facebook and DM me there, and I'll give you all the information you need. We're at about 70 or 80, I think, for Div 1.
Nice.
So we lost about a dozen players, but I think that was going to happen.
Sure.
Whether or not I was willing to admit it once people saw what something like this takes out of your schedule.
Right.
But yeah, we're getting ready to have another killer season, so I can't wait.
So speaking of that, and we'll kind of segue this because I wanted to ask you a few questions about in-person events, and I'll use this as my segue question that as things start to open back up again, pandemic comes to a close, people get vaccinated, stores reopen, yada, 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 yada. If locals come back in full force, are you still planning to run League of Light, or did you kind of just see this as like an interim while things are closed down?
I will do it as long as people want to play.
Okay.
If it drops, well, I will do it as long as I don't run out of money, I guess.
Also fair.
As long as people want to play, I'll let them play. But I imagine when locals are fully opened and our OP season for next year is announced, I expect it to drop a lot, but I'll go as long as the players want to go for. So
awesome. Well, and I know Cure has had success before things closed down, so yeah, hopefully people will still. I'm sure some folks out there will still be happy to come on, and because you can't play everybody at your locals, you can play your local guys.
Yeah, I think another strong part about the League of Light is like being able to play people from all over the world. We all play very differently. We all value cards differently. Yeah, that's cool to me. I love playing my European friends. I love playing everybody.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
So with in-person events, let's say the Crystal Cups come back, which I think we're all hoping for. If we get to that point, maybe RB is going to see this video or Square Enix, Hobby Japan. What is something you would like to see at those events, whether it be prizing, entrance compensation prizes, the way rounds are constructed, just anything? Because I've never been to one before. And
really?
Yeah. I didn't. Well, so I got into the game at the start of 2019, so I was brand new.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, and I was all ready to go last year. I was like, oh, there's going to be one close by. I was even thinking of traveling for one, and then, of course, they all got shut down. So I've never gotten to go to one, so I always like to ask the folks who've been to them.
Oh, bummer, man. You're like, that's surprising to me. You're such a big part of this community and like all the work you do. I figured you would have been to one, I guess.
I appreciate that, but yeah, no, not so far.
What do I want to see change? Pricing, I guess.
Just more of it, or more for lower cuts, or
I guess any improvement to something like pricing is welcome. I come from Magic and Force of Will, and plenty of other games, but those are the main two that I competed in.
Mm-hmm.
And I love exclusive stuff.
Yeah.
Like stamped promos are like. So I'll say my dream thing would be like a stamped promo only given out at this Crystal Cup element, and it's stamped with it. Or like exclusive playmats, sleeves, just more of that stuff. I love the swag. And if it's stamped and exclusive and limited run, I'm all for it. So more stuff like that, more unique stuff. I have enough plushies. I have enough Cloud figures. You can't see my Cloud shelf, but I have like 7 of them, I think. I bought Colin's signed Cloud from Worlds.
Oh, nice.
Exclusive TCG stuff, I think. Less less merchandise.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
But yeah, I guess I mean I love the game. I love traveling to play it. I love the community. Yeah, prizing. I guess I feel like that's a cop-out answer because nobody's ever going to say no to more prizing. But I'm a simple man.
When I talked to another Matthew of the Okimoto variety, he mentioned that as well, and that when you have something exclusive, like you said, even if it's just a promo card, if you can only get it at that event, that does really give players incentive to want to travel to that event. Whereas if what they give out is like, oh, here, it's the Opus 9 Famfrit promo, it's like, okay, well, I can get 5 of those from my local store, so I'm not traveling to Florida for that, so.
Yeah, definitely. Exclusive promos, exclusive playmats, deck boxes, counters would be cool, like exclusive freeze counters if we went back to that. Or like,
that's a great idea.
Or like Edge Shuriken counters or like monster counters, stuff like that. Just like cool exclusive stuff, I think with them going to like having counters and having like the crystal mechanic coming in set 15, stuff like that, like exclusive counters for that mechanic and stuff would just be incredible. So
cool.
Exclusive swag, that's all I've got to say.
Yeah, no, that's a great choice. That's a great option.
Wait, another one. I would like it if we didn't always have to roll and top cut to see who went first. I think Higher Seed deserves the small gift.
Well, I think you got your wish on that, didn't you?
I think, from what I can tell, and a little birdie told me that might be happening. So yeah, big fan of that change. Yeah.
So I'm going to use that as a little, just to jump on that. As a player, most people I talk to are like, well, you always go first. If you got the option, you always go first. But I'll be honest, at least in many of the games, I've not really noticed a difference. Like, I feel like I win and lose just as much when I go first or second. Do you really care one way or the other? I know most people would say first has the advantage. How do you feel about that?
So I think you should always go first because you want the handle on the tempo of the game first.
Mm-hmm.
Except in scenarios like Turbo Discard wanted to go second, the Neo X Death, 2CP's Zidane Earth Watered deck from Japan always wanted to go second.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say you always want to go first, but I would find it cool if they somehow made going second better for non-toxic strategies, I guess.
Yeah. That's interesting. So, like, on Octagon, oftentimes I want to go second because I feel like Octagon will just give me crummy hands sometimes. So I'm like, I need that extra card draw because 6 cards isn't going to be enough. But yeah, that'd be interesting. And that's something, a lot of games balance. I know Hearthstone and all these other games have their second player. We try to, like, give them a little advantage because obviously going first, you get to set the tempo and everything.
I think in this game, it's not as major as in others because, like, experts can, like, randomly swing the game for you, as we all know in love at this point, I guess, whether
Yeah.
we like it or not.
Yeah, love and
But,
despise at the same time. Depends on what end of it you're on.
I guess I will say, like, if I go to a Crystal Cup and I roll and somebody goes, I want to go second, I probably know they're on some toxic more cards in hand strategy that the meta had at the time. So I would like it to be less clear, I guess. I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, and I'm not really even sure how you would like do that mechanically or balance.
Yeah, I don't understand if it's even possible.
It's a cool idea, though. Well, and so speaking of the game, let me ask you that too. Is there anything from the game itself, playing the actual card game, that you would like to see in the future, whether it be more characters in a certain category, a certain mechanic introduced, less of a mechanic that's in the game, anything like that come to mind? Anything that gets Matt Rice to rage when he's at the table, like, oh, this card. Or he's like, oh, this card's great.
What would be on my list? I really love the game right now. I think it's the best it's ever been. I love playing. The meta is great. There's tons of decks. The one thing I would want to see, I guess, more mechanics.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm excited for the crystal mechanic. From what I can tell, it's the energy mechanic from Magic the Gathering.
I've never played Magic. Can you explain that?
You basically got a counter and you would dial it up, and then you would dial it up if cards told you to dial it up, and then you could spend it to use special effects on other cards.
Oh, okay.
And at times, while it was very toxic and not good for the game, and a lot of Magic players consider that the worst time the game has ever had, I think it's a very cool design space. And I love mechanics, I guess. Yeah. You know, like Lonnie came out and I was like, yes, I love this mechanic from Magic. So yeah, just new mechanics. That's about it.
That's fair. That's very fair. Matt, that's kind of all the things I could think of at the moment. Was there anything else you wanted to say to anyone in the community, or just stuff you wanted to mention in general? Plug channels? Anything come to mind?
Plugs? I guess I just want to say there's a lot of doom and gloom going around in the community right now with like allocation and like the lack of events, but it's like, if any of you remember the start of the game, this happened before and everybody thought the game was going to end, and we're here many years later. So everybody keep their head up. I hate seeing doom and gloom stuff on the internet every day. I hope to see you all at R4. Lockwood and LWG are gonna put on a hell of an event. I'll see you all there.
Are you going to see you all? Because you commentated the last one, right?
2 times ago. Oh, okay. Wow, I did commentate that one.
Wasn't it you and Andy Carmona?
Online. Yeah, online. So it's like completely out of my mind. Like I said, out of sight, out of mind. But I'll see you all at R4. Please come to California in October for the Haunted Hotel event. The Meta Potion boys and I are kind of teaming up with the Light, trying to, put some pizzazz back into the game, and we're going to try and put on events everywhere. And the Haunted Hotel is the first international event, and we will have some out-of-country players there. Nice. It's just going to be a great time. I hope to see everybody there. Yeah, I don't have much else to shout out. Shout-outs to this game, this community. Yeah. Shout-outs to Travis for all the work he puts in. It's crazy to see him putting out these deck profiles every day. I used to do that stuff, and let me tell you guys, it is not easy. So shout-outs to him and all the people that carry this game. The returners, there's a very long list. I'm sorry if I don't mention you. I love all you guys. So yeah, just keep your head up, and next year will be incredible. It'll be the best year the game's ever had, I believe it. So
yeah, I think when things return, there'll be a nice explosion. Especially we've had these influx of new players, of people just anxious to get back to something. So
yeah, we've gained like a ton of new players during the pandemic, which is very odd. I have here in Michigan probably like 5 to 6 new players who can't wait to come to locals and like learn the game. That's more players than we've gained. We gain like maybe 1 or 2 players a year. Just being a smaller game. And yeah, it's great. I can't wait till things get back to normal. But I'm a patient man.
Yeah, that you are.
I'm having fun doing the League of Light. If you guys want some games to play, come play in the League of Light.
That's awesome.
Play in the RVA Returners Wednesday event. Things will be back to normal. Trust. Keep your head up. That's it. That's about all I've got.
That sounds great. Well, Matt, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for the kind words, and I'm sure everyone in the community is, of course, always thrilled and happy to hear from you. And he's always good about getting us early Japanese spoilers, and then Eureka's kind enough to translate them, and vice versa. So everybody working together. So Matt, thanks again so much. Looking forward to League of Light Season 2. Can't wait to see what happens. And folks, if you have any questions or comments, I know Matt's really friendly. You can reach out to him on Facebook, reach out to him on Discord, whatever works for you. Yeah, maybe so much. Maybe if he likes you. But leave your comments below, and we will talk to you next time. Take care.